So you might be wondering when you've been watching a few of these videos, I keep mentioning my ankle and whatnot. It's a critical injury I had. I was supposed to lose my leg over it and I haven't. I'll try to somehow figure out in the video editing how to put up like maybe an x-ray that you can see, a modern x-ray of my ankle. So most of my life I was doing martial arts and dance from a young age and gymnastics. And the dance I ended when I was about 16. And the martial arts I continued on for the rest of my life, Hapkido, with a great instructor named Master Kisi Yoon here in Calgary. When I was 19, I got picked up by an R&B band, and I went on tour to Taiwan when I was 19, so that was like 1999. And so I toured Asia for most of my life. I lived in Asia for most of my life. And during the middle of my time in Asia, I started getting hired to do action films. And I was very valuable to them because I was a white guy that could act a little bit, but I could also do my own stunts. I had my precision driving course, so I could do my own car crashes and stuff like that. And so I was having a blast out there. It was great. Until one day I was practicing a stunt. I wasn't even doing it for a movie. I was practicing a stunt on a gig I was doing early on a Sunday morning, and it was the first time in my life I didn't check all the variables. I didn't warm up. I was wearing the wrong shoes. I didn't check the surface I was jumping to, all sorts of things. And so I did a flip off of a building and landed poorly, and I thought I sprained my ankle because the adrenaline kicked in right away, but then I tried to stand up and my whole leg had been liquefied. It wasn't bone out, but literally my fibula was just kind of liquefied. It was into a million different pieces. They took me to the hospital in Hong Kong, and I laid in that hospital bed for close to 10 days with my leg in that condition. And they kept putting people ahead of me that had like broken thumbs and stuff until I finally called the American consulate where one of my friends was working. And they got me in for surgery. And it was a public hospital, and they did really heinous surgery. So about a year later, my whole, as soon as they took the metal out of my whole leg collapsed again, and they were supposed to amputate it. And I was very fortunate. I sent my x-rays to people all around the world. And there was two specialists, one in France and one, thankfully, in Phoenix, Arizona, where some of my family lived at the time. A fantastic doctor named Stanley Graves with his assistant Jason Brown. And they both did fantastic work. They were very compassionate. They gave me a good price because they realized I didn't have a ton of cash and I didn't have insurance for this. And they did the Lazaroff technique. And maybe I'll attach a link to the removal of that because I ran out of money and I couldn't go back into the hospital, and so they had to take all of the screws and stuff out of my leg in their doctor's office with no anesthetic, which was an intense experience actually. So that allowed me to kind of keep my leg. It's still in pretty bad condition, and as you can see, I don't have much range of motion and whatnot. It hinders my drumming, of course, as well. That's kind of what got me into fitness, is I couldn't tour internationally anymore because I could play like 3 nights a week, but I can't play every night anymore. And so I just thought I would put that out there, so when I'm mentioning my ankle, you have a clearer idea if you've watched this video as to why I have that. And I don't have a lot of sympathy for people that have smaller injuries because sometimes you need to work through the pain a little bit in order to keep things working well. You just need to really be conscientious of what good pain and bad pain is. And some days I push too hard and the next day I'm really hurt, I can barely walk, and I know I've done too much or something I've done is agitated, but you have to play around with it, in my opinion. You know, I still believe in trying to get weight on me if I can. I can't right now. To keep those bones healthy and from dying. That's my biggest issue right now is AVN, which is necrosis of the bones, so they would start to die in that area. There's no cartilage left in the ankle joint. So I just thought I would give you a brief synopsis of my background and why maybe I have a clue as to working through injuries and how to keep the body supple. I'm 42 almost. I'm going on 42 soon, and I can't do cardio, I can't run, I can't jump, but I stay in pretty good shape, and I don't count calories or anything like that. I just try to eat balanced, healthy meals that I cook myself and keep active, and I think that's really the secret. So good luck to everybody, and I just thought maybe you would want a brief history of what I do. I also do pottery. If you want to check my pottery website, you can go to robbinharris.ca. Yeah, alright, so good luck.